Hello, welcome to your Yoga Flow practice focused on your third eye or Ajna chakra, located of course at the third eye, so inside of the skull at the kind of eyebrow center. And the third eye is linked with intuition, clarity of mind, thinking, seeing clearly. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So can you start in a comfortable seat with a long spine, and when you're ready, closing down the eyes. Allowing the shoulder blades to soften down the back. And notice the length of the spine from the base of the spine all the way up the spine to the third eye. You might begin to notice subtle sensations at the eyebrow center on the forehead. We'll start by waking up that area, bringing one hand up to the face and just giving the third eye, that space between the eyebrows or at the center of the forehead, a little tap. Waking up our intuition. Letting go of any overthinking that might cloud our intuition or our seeing clearly. Good, and then releasing the hand. Notice if there are any sensations there at the eyebrow center or forehead now. Bringing the palms of the hands together at the heart. Cracking the eyes open, clasp the fingertips or the fingers between each other, so hands are clasping. Get the palms of the hands or the fingers under the chin, draw the elbows up towards the ceiling, spine is nice and long, so it's almost like you're cradling under the chin with the backs of the fingers. Press the palms of the hands forwards, tuck the chin in towards the chest, rounding through the back, feeling that nice stretch across the shoulders. Reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. Palms are pressing up. Maybe you gaze up. And then release the hands. Clasp the hands behind the back. Press the palms of the hands together to open through the chest. Good. Bring the hands back to the heart. That's one round. See if you can begin to engage your breath now. Inhale, elbows draw up. Hands are under the chin. Exhale, press the palms, tuck the chin in towards the chest, rounding through the back. Inhale to lengthen, sides of the waist long, maybe gazing up. Exhale to release the hands, clasp the hands, and as you inhale, open through the chest. Release hands back to your heart with your breath. Inhale, elbows draw up. Exhale, press the palms, tuck the chin. Inhale, lengthen sides of the waist long. Exhale, release the hands, clasp the hands, and as you inhale, open through the chest. We'll just take 2 more rounds, palms back to the heart. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, press the palms, tuck the chin. Inhale, lengthen sides of the waist long. Exhale to release, clasp the hands as you inhale, open through the chest. Exhale, hands back to your heart. Last time in your own time with your own breath. Good, everyone. When you're done, making your way onto all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Once you're stable here, walk the hands a little further forwards and out to the side, melting heart. Forehead softens down towards the ground. If it doesn't reach, maybe you get a block or a cushion under the forehead. Keep the arms active and long, pressing down into the palms of the hands, so forearms are lifted off the ground. And just feeling that connection between your forehead and the mat. Maybe you give the head a gentle little roll from side to side, massaging the forehead. tuning into your third eye. Good, and then when you're ready, making your way back up onto all fours. Get those wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Keep the spine nice and long here. Scapular press. Allow the heart to drop towards the ground. Shoulder blades are winging. So you're not arching too much in the back. You're keeping that spine nice and long. Arms are long as well. Press the back of the heart up towards the ceiling. So press the ground away. So tiny movement here. Scapular press. Allow the chest to drop, winging the shoulder blades. Arms stay long and strong. Press the back of the heart up. One more time. See if you can keep the spine nice and long, not arching in the middle of the back. And press the ground away. So you're nice and strong here with the hands on the ground, feeling that pressure as you press the floor away from you. Come down onto the forearms, elbows under the shoulders, wrists in line with the elbows. Press the fingertips down into the ground and step back to a forearm plank. Knees can be onto the ground if you need a little bit more support. Press the heels away from you. You've got a long line from the heels all the way up the legs, the spine, out through the crown of the head. And you're strongly pressing down through the palms and the elbows into the ground. Crown of the head is lengthening away as the collarbones are broad. Good, gracefully releasing all the way down onto your belly, Sphinx pose. Again, get the elbows under the shoulders, wrists in line with the elbows, press the palms of the hands down, draw the heart forwards. Tops of the feet are pressing, legs are nice and active, knees off the ground. Good, releasing all the way down and pressing back to child's pose. Forehead softening towards the mat and just pausing here. Take 3 breaths with your focus in the center of the skull. So just awareness dwelling in that area. Good. When you're ready, come back up onto all fours, tuck the toes under and lift the hips, downward facing dog. Feel free to have a little wiggle around in your first downward facing dog, taking any movement that you and your body needs. Getting to warm up the body. And then when you're ready to, finding stillness, press into the fingertips. Tops of the arms are almost rotating out and wrapping back towards the feet. So there's almost a hollowing out of the armpits action. Seeing if you can broaden through the back of the body, broaden through the upper back. Can you keep those elbows hugging towards each other lightly as you slowly lower the elbows down towards the mat? And you might need to do that one at a time, or you might be able to do both elbows together. So dolphin pose, press the ground away from you, back of the heart is still pressing forwards and up. And then press into the hands to lift the elbows off of the ground. And again, you might need to do one at a time, or can you do both at the same time? We'll take 2 more rounds of this. Elbows lower nice and slowly, hovering off the ground. Press into the forearms, hips are lifted as the sitting bones draw up towards the sky. Press into the hands, lift the elbows off. One more time. Allow the elbows to slowly lower down. And then press into the hands. See if you can get the elbows lifting at the same time as you come back into your downward facing dog. So a little bit of strengthening in the shoulders and the upper body. Begin to walk the feet to the hands, step by step. When you reach the top, inhale to lengthen the spine, flat back. Exhale to fold. Heel toe the feet hip distance apart. Grab hold of the elbows or maybe the backs of the calves or the ankles and draw yourself lightly towards your legs so you feel this opening into the hamstrings. Weight a little forwards into the toes and the balls of the feet. Allow the head and the shoulders to be heavy. And maybe you can feel the belly concaving in As you relax the belly, it almost drops under the rib cage. Good. Releasing the arms. Inhale to come all the way up. Reach the arms, palms together above the head. Take a moment to pause here, gazing up. Exhale to fold all the way back down. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Left foot steps back, Anjaneyasana. Back knee comes down, untuck the toe to come all the way up, reaching through the arms. Palms together. If there's space, you might need to bend the elbows, gazing up. Release the hands to frame the front foot. Step back to your plank position, top of your chaturanga. Exhale to slowly lower all the way down onto the belly. Inhale to open the chest, baby cobra. Heart drawing forwards, crown of the head lengthening away. Releasing all the way back to your downward facing dog. Good. Left leg reaches long behind you, three-legged dog. Step the foot in between the hands, Anjaneyasana on the other side. Back knee comes down, untuck the toe to come all the way up, palms of the hands together. Releasing the hands to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toe under, step that back foot forwards to fold. Inhale to come all the way up, reach the arms, palms together, hovering here. Exhale to fold all the way back down. We're on the other side. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Right foot steps back, Anjaneyasana. Back knee comes down, untuck the toe to come all the way up, palms together. Keep the belly a little zipped in. Release the arms, frame the front foot, step back to your plank position, top of your chaturanga. Exhale to lower halfway down if you are ready, if not all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, forwards cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to press back, downward facing dog. Right leg reaches long behind you, three-legged dog. Step the foot in between the hands, Anjaneyasana on the other side. Back knee comes down, untuck the toe to come all the way up, palms together. Circle the arms, frame the front foot, step that back foot forwards to fold. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up, reach the arms, hovering here. Exhale to fold all the way back down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Left foot steps back, Anjaneyasana. Back knee comes down, untuck the toe to come all the way up. Palms together. You can gaze forwards this time. Tuck the back toe under and lift that back knee off the ground. So you're in a crescent lunge. Front knees tracking over the toes. Pausing here, finding your stability. Maybe you can keep the palms of the hands together above the head as you begin to pitch the body forwards, lengthening through the back of the body. Warrior 3, transfer the weight and pick up the back foot. So you could flex the back foot or point through the toes. Can you drop that left hip down so pelvis is parallel with the ground? And then you might need to grab hold of your block or that water bottle if you've got it close by. Hands can come down towards the block or the floor if you can reach. Chipasana, standing split. Inch that back leg a little higher as you fold forwards. Now you could come up onto your fingertips here. Maybe you test your balance, reaching for the calf or the ankle as that left leg lengthens long behind you. Good. Release the hands back onto the ground. Bend that standing knee. Standing forward fold. Step that left foot forwards to fold. Heel toe the feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Grab hold of the elbows and just hanging forwards here. Maybe a gentle sway from side to side. Good. Release the arms. Heel toe the feet back together. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up. Reach the arms, palms together. Exhale to fold all the way back down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Right foot steps back, Anjaneyasana, back knee comes down, untuck the toe to come up, palms together if there's space. Gaze can come forwards, tuck the back toe under, slowly begin to lift that knee off the ground to your crescent lunge. Can you soften the shoulders away from the ears? Strong and stable through the legs. Begin to pitch the body forwards. Press the heel away so you're long through the back line of the body. Easily as you can, transferring the weight. Warrior 3, pick up the back foot. So you're looking for length here, as if somebody's pulling from your ankle and your wrists or the back of the skull. Fingertips reach towards the floor or your block as you inch that back leg a little higher. Chipasana, standing split. Stay here, or maybe you test your balance reaching for the calf or the ankle. It might be helpful to gaze at a point on your mat that's not moving, focusing the eyes on your drishti. Good, and then release the hands, forward fold, step that back foot forwards, heel toe the feet a little wider, grab hold of the elbows, or maybe this time palms of the hands come under the soles of the feet, middle fingers point back towards the center of the heel. If you're coming here, feet aren't too wide, they're hip distance apart. You're standing on the palms of the hands. There's space, bend the elbows. Of course you can bend your knees if you need to. 3 or so breaths here. Nice, steady and even breaths. Good, and then releasing the arms, stepping back to your downward facing dog. Sitting bones drawing nice and high, press into the hands. Can again you roll the tops of the arms, almost squeezing the elbows towards each other as you hollow out the armpits and broaden through the shoulders and the upper back. And then slowly lower the elbows towards the ground, dolphin pose. Now you might stay here, pressing firmly into the palms and forearms, or maybe you begin to walk the feet closer towards the arms. One leg could lift, either leg, and maybe you come up onto the tiptoes of that other foot and take tiny little hops with control. So looking after yourself, not kicking too hard. Eventually, if you came into your pincher, you would be able to lift yourself there rather than hopping and using too much force. You would use muscle strength to get you there. Switch the leg, lift the other leg and take tiny little hops on that foot. Maybe you can catch yourself with the hips above the shoulders and come into your full pincher if you know where you're going. If not, just hovering here, taking a little hop. Good, and then when you're ready, releasing that leg back down and come into child's pose. Knees together, reach the arms back towards the feet. Forehead can rest on the ground. Allowing the shoulders to roll forwards, releasing that tension in the upper body, and just taking a few breaths. And when you're ready to, rolling up the spine to a seat, lift the hips over to one side and bring the legs out in front of you. You could be sat up onto a block or a cushion if you need a little bit more height, if the knees are bent or if the back, if you're leaning back and the tailbone's tucked under, sit up onto a prop. Bring that right foot to the inside of the thigh. Inhale to reach the arms. Little twist over that left leg to fold. 3 long, even breaths. reach through the arms to come all the way back up. We'll switch to the other side, right leg long, left foot to the inner thigh. A moment to lengthen through the arms and spine, and then folding forwards to breathe. Good, reaching through the arms to come all the way back up and release down onto your back. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Have a gentle little rock from side to side. Bringing the feet down onto the ground. Fingertips can reach the heels or thereabouts. We're coming into our bridge pose. Press into the feet. Begin to peel the pelvis off the ground up onto the shoulders. Imagine you've got a block in between the thighs and you're gently squeezing that block so legs and inner thighs are engaged. Maybe you clasp the hands together, hook the shoulders underneath you and press the arms down into the ground. Gaze stays up towards the ceiling. Can you relax your ankles and toes? Good, releasing all the way back down. Either feet can come wider than hip distance and knees can drop in if that feels good for your lower back. Or maybe Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees can drop over to the sides. Arms could reach above the head to release the shoulders, and just pausing here. Allowing your breath to be steady and even. You've got some options. You could stay here. You could come into another bridge pose as you did before, or maybe if a wheel is already in your practice, feel free to come into a wheel. If you're not quite there yet, don't head there, just come to a bridge looking after yourself. If you're joining me for a wheel, flip the hands, palms of the hands come down onto the ground, fingertips point towards the shoulders. Then you press into the feet, lift the hips off of the ground. If you're going to come to the crown of the head, allow it to be a light touch. And then come all the way up. You could step the feet a little closer in. Or maybe you choose to lengthen the legs long and bring the feet together. Taking a few breaths here, opening into the chest. Now the most important thing when you come down is to not come onto the crown of the head. Tuck the chin in towards the chest, bend the knees and the elbows. As you slowly lower down, bring the back of the shoulders to the ground. It's much safer than bringing the crown of the head down and cranking the neck. Once you're all the way down with a long spine, your choice of legs, feet wide, knees in, or soles of the feet together and knees could drop open to the sides. Good. Hug the knees back in towards the chest. Pick up the head and shoulders, round into a little ball. Getting a bit of flexion through the spine after that extension. And then releasing the head and shoulders back down. Hug the right knee in, left leg long. Spinal twist, right knee can drop over to the left side. As you reach the arms out, gazing up or back across that right arm. Coming all the way back to center and switch to the other side. Left knee in, right leg long. Coming into your twist, taking a few soft, even breaths. Good, coming all the way back to center. Shift the hips so the spine is nice and long. Again, hug the knees back in towards the chest. And take a happy baby pose. Reach for the outsides of the feet or behind the knees. Knees are softening towards the ground. Shoulders and lower back softening onto the mat. Maybe have a gentle little rock from side to side. One leg could lengthen and the other. When you're ready, releasing into your Shavasana, finding yourself into a nice comfortable position on your back. Once you're here, bring the hands up to the face and massage from the top of the nose, in between the eyebrows, up and over the tops of the eyebrows, over to the temples, at the sides of the head. Give the temples a little rub. And do that a couple more times. First finger to the insides of the eyebrows. Press them up and over the tops of the eyebrows, massaging, smoothing out the forehead. As the fingers come round to the temples, give the temples a little massage. One more time. When you're ready to, releasing the arms, finding stillness on your back. And you close down the eyes. Soften all the muscles in the face. And softening that spot in between your eyebrows. Staying here for as long as you need. It was a pleasure to guide you through your practice today. Thank you for joining me.